Hello again. This will be video number 3, DVD number 3. You've seen in the last video the movie I got on YouTube about the uniqueness of the first verse. I have my computer with the big screen set up to Genesis, and I've got my computer set up to where I had to click back and forth to show you the verses and such when I get to that point. But anyway, the last thing I said is I knew the gap theory said millions of years between Genesis 1 and 2 to explain what the so-called scientists were starting to say about the age of the earth. That's all I knew. And of course then I found out actually that it was called the creation restorative, which is similar, what I'm about to show you. So I don't actually know their true theory or even who started it, whoever started that rumor. But however, see, part of my doing this video is also to debunk the scientists by showing the world a better way of how things went down. That's why I have the scriptures and the things, and you'll see. Okay, plus some other portions of this that kind of way out there, but once you've thought about it, it actually would make sense. So but anyway, seriously though, who do these scientists think they are? Okay, they're unsaved, unbelieving people who don't believe in God's way, so they set out to find their own way. The scripture says, professing themselves to be wise, they became utter fools. Okay, I don't believe in scientists because they believe in evolution and they don't believe in a God, any kind of God. Okay, there is a evolutionist. I didn't catch the year of his life, but he was quoted as saying in my researches as I was going through this conspiracy theory thing. There's a guy named Sir Arthur Keith, and he said evolution is unproved and unprovable, but the alternative is to believe in a creator being or a creator God, something to that effect, and that's just unthinkable. See, they don't want to believe in the truth because they wish to not believe in a God. One scientist was quoted to saying, I didn't catch who, but I was just listening to that on the Christian radio stations and on the Christian televisions. One scientist was quoted to say that we don't want to believe in God because it messes with our sexual prowess, because God puts a restriction on sex. Like I said before, it's all sin. Okay, but anyway, I could go there no more. All right. And anyway, and also an atheist. Again, I heard it. And some atheist was. Oh, that was from this guy that he actually does a series. I have to get it one of these days. Does a creation thing, and basically he says, I do not have enough faith to be an atheist, and he's amazing. That's where I got a lot of this information from too. That was able to put things together and make more sense what's going on. But anyway, where was I at here? Oh yeah, atheist says, if you prove God to me, that's all the more reason not to believe in him. Like what? What kind of reason is that? I mean, if you could prove something exists, I mean, that's one thing that I learned from the Christians on these TV stations and the creationists, other than they don't know this part, and the true science. There's math involved. That if this Earth itself was billions of years old, like the scientists are saying, same with the sun and everything else, things would be different by the laws of physics and math, which the scientists cannot lie about. They can't. There's laws of physics and there's laws of math that they can't change it. Okay, so that's what I heard in all these creation shows. Okay, so the Earth The sun, the solar system, is young. They say 6,000. I heard when growing up it was 10,000, but I guarantee you it's no more than 12,000 years old. Okay, the rest of the universe. This is why I'm talking gap theory. The rest of the universe is it, and you'll see what I mean as I lay this out. But see, one thing people ain't figured out yet. Okay, where do these scientists get their money from? You know, as far as I'm concerned, not all scientists, but I bet you a lot of them are nothing but leeches. Okay, why I say that? Think about it, people of the world. Where do the scientists get their funding from? They get it in the way of government grants. Where do governments get their money from? That's right, people. They get it from people's taxes. You're paying for these scientists' lies and these scientists' controls and these scientists' baloney. Evolution has been proven wrong, people, and yet it's still being taught in school. Evolution has been proven that it was monkeyed with, and that all the so-called fossil evidence was changed and monkeyed with, and it breaks their chain of their little chart of the little monkeys going into. Pressure going up the chain of evolution to Cro-Magnon man, or then to Homo sapien and all this other, all the skulls and all these things. Even the so-called Lucy was supposed to be the missing link. They put feet to that creature that they found 2 miles away from where they found the scattering of her little bitty bones. Okay, what? Give me a break. See, the scientists, which people ain't figured out, and see, there's a show that I watch. I don't like it because I stopped watching too many shows. I do watch a lot of the old stuff to see how far back this goes, and believe me, Hollywood's been doing this for a long time. It's been destroying generation after generation with their garbage in people's living room. All of you old guys remember the old shows, and look at what's crap's on the TV today. Okay, come on. I mean, come on. I don't have to say that. I shouldn't even have to say that. Okay. Don't forget, good things have come from science, mind you. Real science at it, not made up stuff like global warming. I got an article about that I did in college. Why do you think they call it climate change 9? It's a cure-all so they can continue to get money for research for a problem that doesn't exist. That one show I'm talking about, and some of you out there might know it, it's called The Big Bang Theory. And that guy that has the actor that acts as he has a speech impediment, said it straight and clear to the whole world. The way to do it is to come up with a theory that cannot be proven, and then beg for grant money to do the research for that. Evolution has been disproved. And who? If an anthropologist or whatever the bone diggers are, grave robbers, really, if you think about it, really, come on. So the grave is 2,000 years old. What gives you the right to dig the shit up? Seriously, damn. Well, forgive me. Anyway, if they're being paid to find the missing link, okay, and they know if they don't find something that could be considered, or they could cheat as a missing link, they lose their funding. So they come up with this crap. I mean, one thing scientists can never say is where did that first spark of life come from? If they could tell me that, then I could maybe even consider their idea. But until they could say, how did that first spark of life, how did that first cell all of a sudden become life? Okay? Tell me that, scientists. Tell the world that. And if you can't, then shut up. Because it's all lies. And it's time the world wakes up to these lies. Anyway, I know the truth because I did a pro-con research on the in college in about 2014 on the whole CO2 issue. It was something that popped up in one of their little propaganda little spots in my speech book. That's how I was able to do this. I took a speech class. Okay, and here's the truth. Okay, Here's the truth. Excuse me. Here's the truth, world. Let me get a drink here. Carbon dioxide is not a pollutant. It is a plant food. And most importantly, it is the gas we all breathe out. Think about that. Okay, another proof of no evolution. Plants need us and we need them. Okay, how did evolution work that one out? Okay, tell me that. Now, first I wanted everyone to consider history, how many billions of people that have been killed by their own governments or by a dictator or a communist takeover of countries and such. I want everyone to consider the total control of the lives of the many people even today around the world, where the ones in charge are in charge so because they have all the guns and a brainwashed army to follow orders to kill their own people. Now, people, wake up and consider this. The world governments are allowed to call CO2, if the world governments are allowed to call CO2 a pollutant, and if they are allowed to put a tax on the factories and the power plants that produce it, pretending it's just for factories and power plants, what is to stop them from taxing us to breathe? Think about it, people. History proves people with the weapons have control. They are the ones willing to kill man, woman, child, dog, cat, rat, roaches to get their way. Okay? It's going on right now in ISIS. Alright? You've seen the little babies, the pictures I showed you during the conspiracy theory talk. Okay? I already told you about the Big Bang Theory, but that's how the scientists do. Okay? They come up with something. And when they can't come up with nothing, because see, I mean, the scientists that get money and live off of grants, okay, if they don't have nothing to study, they don't get no grants. So they come up with all this garbage, all these stupid studies that have no benefit whatsoever for mankind. They charge the taxpayer pays the college, and the college hires all these dumbasses that don't even believe in God or anything else to dictate to the world what they believe is the truth, when it's all made up garbage. All the global warming data was messed with. The actual global warming satellite data from way back, satellite data proven now on these shows that I watch, Brian Fisher and those on AFR.net. Okay, proven that by the space analysis that they've been doing, that there's been no global warming for many years. They're making it up. All the stuff that they show in the north and the south poles, they're not. They show it in their summertime. Ice melts, ice grows. As far as all the glaciers are melting back, dude. The glaciers had been melting back since day one they were formed. What's going to stop them now? And what about the Sahara Desert? The Sahara Desert was a lush green place. I heard I don't know how, a couple hundred years ago. I don't know how many years. Okay, there was a climate change. Boom! Look at the Sahara Desert. It's the biggest desert in the world. There was no industry back then. None. What caused that? Man, wake up, people. This is the mindset of the world, and the satanic left-wing liberals and the Democrats are all part of it. I hate it. Maybe not all. I'm not talking about you Democrat voters. You've been fooled. I'm talking about the Democrat leaders. I think there's time between Genesis 1:1 and 1:2 because of the Hebrew translation. Okay, now, this is where I'm going to go ahead and turn the TV onto the big screen where I got the scriptures and everything else, and I'm going to focus on that. Hopefully you can see that, but I am going to be reading some things. I got some of it large enough. I'm hoping to take some pictures so you can see it for yourself, and I'm going to show you what I found in translating Hebrew to English to give me a hint. that there is some form of gap theory. But it goes out from there. So let me do this. Oh, now, as I'm focusing in, to put a close on the scientist thing, it's time for the people to stand up and demand that evolution, the lie of evolution, be stopped being taught in the public schools, which the taxpayers pay for. Okay, not the government. It is a lie. It's been proven wrong. There's too much evidence against it. And it's got to stop, people. But it's with you people out there that are the voters. You got to vote for the right people. Again, I say vote. Again, I say all people who want freedom, vote properly, or you'll lose it. Anyway. All right. Now, right here, I've got, that's the Bible program, and actually, that's actually how I get the translations, because this first window says Genesis, and then I got the Strong's Greek and Hebrew dictionary, and they got the theology workbook of the Old Testament, and I got a lot of other different aids. There's a dictionary thing in here. Of course, I got one in the back of the Bible too, a Hebrew and Greek to English dictionary. And this is how I confirm everything. But I'm going to start with, now, like I said, I remember the video that said, that talked about, the first verse, but I'm going to show you some things that they didn't show. They showed all the numbers and stuff, and that was fine, but let's show you actually what these Hebrew words are actually translated into. Okay, we got this right here, and I'm not going to read everything, but I'll read what is important. First, the verse, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth was without form and void, and so on and so forth. That's where I'm going to stop, because it's the second verse. Okay, the first three Hebrew words of the second verse that shows me there's something going on here. Now, I'll show you what I mean. So let's go to my word program where I copied and pasted the dictionary that's in that program that just got off. Okay, now to start off with, I'm only going to be translating a few key words, like for instance God, for instance Elohim. That's what it is, Elohim, like something like pronunciation. Now, it was used to talk about the one true God. These are the next thing is the King James words used in English words used in King James version. Of course, again, if it's in the King James version, it was in the Geneva 1599 edition first. So, okay, just want to keep clear of that. But you got God, you got judge, and you got all these different ways, okay, that this Elohim is actually being used. But if you go down to the definition, okay, this is the Strong's Talking Greek and Hebrew Dictionary. Actually, you want to click on you want to know what a word sounds like. When I'm in the program, I click on it and it gives you anyway. But it is plural of Hebrew 433. That's the Strong's exhaustive concordance number. Eloah, whatever, is God's plural in the ordinary sense. Now, the reason why I bring that up, because there are several other words that can be translated God. This one is used first. Okay, the main word is Yahweh, and they actually say Yahweh Adonai, Adonai, whatever it is, something like that, meaning Lord God. Yahweh is the best enunciation we have of the true name of God, the I am type thing. Elohim is plural. See, now what does that mean to me? That means to me the Trinity. Okay, that's that. As far as I'm concerned, Moses and God was establishing the Trinity, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, and by dictating Moses to use this particular Hebrew plural word. The other program I got, the first one I got, the Deluxe Bible Edition, they kind of have a note in there too that is considered plural intensive. like the kings and the queens. You have heard them say us and we and all that because they're supposedly supposed to be speaking for the people when they really mean I. That's what they're trying to say that means too. But however, I still say it means Father, Son, Holy Ghost. That's just makes more sense to me. Okay, because like I said, there are other words that is translated to English, our English God. There are other Hebrew words. Okay, then the next word is heavens. Okay, and of course, heavens has all those different meanings because there is talk about the third heaven and all these different things. So you also got our heavens basically are because you know that those lower puffy clouds. It looks like you know they're puffy on top or they're flat and they look like they're sitting on something flat. That's the initial heavens are the environment that keeps all life breathing animals and everything else alive. Okay, and then of course it means expansion beyond the skies, the stars and the universe. Okay, so it has you know both meanings there, and of course land is Eretz and it's translated earth, heavens and earth. Okay, well it's translated in the Old English 1,543 times as land. Just like the video said, this more means matter than anything. Okay, so I mean it wasn't exactly talking about just this planet Earth. Okay, look at all these different translations. Okay, anyway, then we got to the meat of it. Okay, this is coming to verse 2. Became used was. Okay, the word was is coming from. You can see it right here is how many times King James and actually, like I said, the other one. When I say King James use it, that means the other one did too. My Geneva Bible. Anyway, you see it was. But look at here. Come to pass 21. Where happened. Where happened 6. Become 32. And then you got better for thee, pertain, I don't know, has been, came, I mean, but then you go, it comes from a primitive root, okay, hala, to exist, i.e., to be or to become, come to pass, okay, in other words, it became something, okay. Now, let's go to the next word. Is Strong's number 8414. Keep in mind that number. This is Tuhu. Okay. Here's the English words translated. Vain is 4, vanity 4, confusion 3, without form only 2, wilderness 2, naught 2, nothing 1, empty place 1, waste 1. And it's from an unused root to meaning to lie waste, a desolate, a surface. A desolate surface, a desert, a figurative, a worthless, a figurative, a worthless, get my tongue tangled, a worthless thing, okay, so on and so forth. A confusion, empty place, come on, man. Okay, now, I want you to take word, that right here, see this word here, vain? Okay, now, you take that English translation from this 8414, okay, remember that. Now, I copied and pasted this because this was probably from Psalms. I can't remember where. But anyway, what I wanted to show you is you got vain and this Hebrew number 87723. Okay, and then I didn't go to it and run the definition. I'm just showing you another thing. And there's another vain H5014. Point in being there are at least 2 different Hebrew words translated vain besides the previous one I just showed you. Okay, that word is and that word is being translated without form in Genesis 2. Okay, now of course I got boohoo. That's just that void, empty. To saying the same thing as a void. Okay, now remember I mentioned. In either the testimony or the second one that I found this verse here. I don't know if you can see here what I'm doing. I found that verse. You can't see it. Anyway, the verse that was on the paper, Isaiah 45:18, and I wrote down, "Did not create the world a waste." Okay, and that's the one I forgot about until God brought it to my attention. This here is the verse. It says, God himself that had formed the earth and made it. He has established it. He created it not in vain. He formed it to be inhabited. I am the Lord, there is none else, and so on and so forth. Look here, this word not in vain is 84:14, just like the 84:14 and verse 2. Where's it at? 84:14 and verse 2. Wherever I got it at. Anyway, hang on a minute. Let me find it again. 84:14. There it is, right there. So God is flat saying in Isaiah 45:18 that I did not create the world like verse 2. Verse 2, the world became chaotic. Okay? Now here's the deal. I think I'm going to talk about it, but this is the main thing. God's first major creation, okay, became chaotic. That's the essence of the gap theory thing. And you can see, I mean, it says it right there. I mean, Isaiah says it plain and clear. I did not create the world in vain. And see, again, I showed you there are two other words for vain that could be used here. And actually, I found about, I think, two more besides. I think there's three or four of them, okay? Vanities is another way it comes out. Another Hebrew word comes out, vanity. But I mean, 84:14 here, translated vain, is the same one. So that's what I mean by going to the Hebrew to figure out what God first said and what it really means. Because right here, it says it plain and clear, and nobody on earth can tell me different, except maybe a Hebrew that knows how to translate their language to mine. That's the only one that can change and tells me anything different about what all these numbers actually mean. And what determines is for it to be used this way one time, and this way another time. I am still looking for, I actually messaged one guy, Hebrew church, and I guess he thought I was crazy, so he never answered me back. Whatever. But anyway, now we're actually, let's see, now let's see. Let me get back to my notes here and see where I'm at, because I kind of ad-libbed a little bit there. All right. Okay. Let's see. I already talked about. I don't know what the first period people of the gap theory, used the translation to come up with the same idea that I'm talking about or not. As the why of it, or why did the earth become a waste? Or better yet, why would a perfect God? This is what my question I had from way back. Why once I discovered it from that Bible when I was researching it out that it meant waste too, I always questioned, why would a perfect God create a wasteland? The answer is he didn't. Okay, and this is all a part of what I'm going to try to talk about for the rest of this time. Of course, right now we're back to asking why again. Okay. As a matter of fact, maybe before I start going into the verses, let me finish reading my script here. First, I like to the biggest question I have about this whole creation thing. First off, why did God have to create anything to begin with? Seriously, was he lonely? I mean, and then, if he was lonely, all he had to do was create the angels. Okay. I mean, second, and this is the part that tells me, something different here. If God knows all and sees the future, why did he create the devil to start if he knew the devil would rebel and cause all this trouble? Again, it's not God's fault the earth is this way. It is the devil's fault. Okay? Later on, I think I got in here where I revealed his true name. It's not Satan, believe me. I guarantee that. I think I got it in here. I don't remember. Third, it is written that the angels that fell were held in darkness for judgment, and that hang on, let me back up. Third, it is written that the angels that fell with the devil, okay, they were cast out of heaven, of the heavens, violently, I might add, by Hebrew, and they're held in darkness for judgment, and that they and the devil will be cast in the lake of fire. Now, my biggest question is, why didn't God do this as soon as the devil first rebelled? And then fourth, when Adam and Eve sinned, why didn't he destroy them and start over? But even for that, even before that, why did God even allow the devil to be on earth tempting Eve, which tempted, well, it doesn't say that, but I believe she tempted Adam, but that's beside the point. Her eyes are open first, she, and whatever, but girls been using their bodies against mankind, well, ever since, probably. And last but not least, if Jesus was slain from the foundation of the earth, as it says, why didn't Jesus come before the flood to redeem the world so he wouldn't have to destroy it? Unless there's something we're not being told. It is written, the secret things of God are his. Okay? Why did God feel the need to create anything or anybody to begin with? Like it says, maybe he was lonely, and then why didn't he stop with the angels? Why did he feel the need to create man as well? Why did he let the devil loose again to bother mankind? I mean, you may be saying free will, and you may be right. Free will is the key to this whole mystery. But let me say this though. For me, I would rather serve my living God and Creator as a slave for all eternity than spend 1 microsecond on this earth and this wretched body and have free will. That's just me, okay? I'd rather serve my God, and I don't mind bowing down to him as a slave, other than going through all the pain and suffering that mankind has, unless there's something else going on. Here's what I think in a nutshell as to what happened. More than likely, he had no choice to create everything like he did if he wanted eternal peace. Think about this here. This is the key. If everything comes from God, it means so did evil. Think about it, people. God had both inside, good and evil. He wanted to get rid of the evil. He devised an amazing plan. So God spread himself out, creating the whole universe all at once, and everything and everybody, or every life in it. But it was a spiritual life, like the angels, and that's where I believe we came from. We got caught in the middle of this. I'm probably going to have it in my notes later too, but I'm saying right here, I believe those souls of us that are being sent to earth got caught up in this war. Well, I'll explain why I thought about that as I go. And I know it's in these notes later on. But that, to me, think about it. That was the Big Bang, or better yet, what looks like a Big Bang. He set the clock, gave all life, angels, whatever out there, free will. He lets some things happen as they happen as part of free will, and then he intervenes where he needs to. It is written that it rains on the rich and the poor. The reason why I'm even able to do this video is because I was at this open air flea market and I had my tents and stuff, but all of a sudden, and I'm in Florida, and all of a sudden a cloud came out of nowhere and thoroughly trashed I had to pack up. I had to wait for it to go past, because it passes quick around here. It got sunny, I had to go to the spot, and I had to dry everything out. That's why I'm able to do this, But see, the thing is, I could pray it all I want. It doesn't matter, because it rained on me, and it rained on the guy next to me, and the guy across from me, and so on and so forth. Everybody got wet. See, so, and if in a hurricane, I mean, the whole town gets wet, no matter if they're good or bad. So there's some things happen. It's part of existence. I'm sorry, I hate it. Okay, but it happens. The bad things, a lot of it, you can, other than natural stuff, disasters and stuff, and God intervenes in there, I suppose too. I don't know. It's just things happen. Okay, that's all. People get over it. I mean, really, who knows how much time from the creation okay, before the devil rebels. I mean, this didn't happen click, 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 okay? He and his angel was cast out of heaven with violence. That's some of the Hebrew. Jesus says, behold, I see Satan cast down to earth like lightning. What is lightning? It's violence. He was thrown to this part of the galaxy, to this part of the universe, destroying God's first creation, accounting for the verb to become, causing the need to recreate this area, but in a more special way than before. Now here's where I differ, like it says from the gap theory. I believe, here's where I differ for sure on the gap theory I believe in, is because, see, back when I was in California, somebody first alerted me to some kind of pre-existent of us nonsense. I went searching after that. Okay, it was new to me, and I went to the scriptures. I found nothing clear but some little hits, like God is, for one thing, God is not slack concerning His promises, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering towards us, that all may be saved and none should perish. But wait a minute, okay, right here I must say, and I don't know if I have it in my notes further. Right here I must say, the more time goes on, the more people are born, and the more people have to be saved. Also, the Bible talks about the remnant, and those who must die like you. It says that in Revelations, actually. Who are these people? Also, it's been over 2,000 years since Jesus first came. When does this end? Now, here's what it is right here. The more time that goes on, the more people are born. The numbers grow exponentially. Why the long delay unless there's something else going on? I kept all this in the back of my mind until I heard that crazy preacher I was talking about talk about it. That crazy preacher spoke of the first earth age as well. Okay, and again, he was talking in a spiritual sense, like us angels. You know, I believe we pre-existed before coming to the earth in the first creation, the one that the devil destroyed. I believe it being cast out of heaven. Now, and like I said, I don't know what part we had in this. Okay, I don't. Okay, but whatever happened during the war in heaven, we got caught in the middle of it all. Now God has sent, this is the part that I believe is going on, and I'll explain why in a minute. Now God is sending souls to earth to undo what the devil did. We forget the past. We're given free will and a free chance to stay with the Creator or rebel like the devil. One thing, people, all of you of the world, your conscience is the Holy Spirit convicting you of your wrongdoing. It is coming from the Creator God, not your idols and your things that you built. Okay, I'm going to show you. Did I show you that picture of Buddha? Yeah, he did. You seen that? I guess I showed you that picture of Buddha. If I didn't, I'm going to try to remember to do that before I'm done with. You know, he was he ate one thing of rice a day, and he died saying I was wrong. He was not that he was bones covered with skin. That's all he was when he died. I hope I showed you. If I didn't, I'm going to try to remember when I get done with this and do that. I don't know if not. But however, it's in that World Religion book of mine. I still haven't brought in yet. Okay, anyway, I believe we are born with the knowledge of God inside us. But depending on your surroundings, you forget. Or you turn to false gods. From there, I really don't know. God is a judge on salvation of the soul. One question I heard discussed is, when do we get our soul? And what happens to aborted babies or to children who die before they can even talk? Many ideas stem from this, like age of accountability. This discussion was held on that focal point with Brian Fisher. I kind of like this. They have one problem I deal with, but they're good. That's the people that you really need to hear from to hear Christian politics and the truth. One guy that was a guest host and had one view, and Brian came back with another view. The common one is the all dogs go to heaven idea. I use that as a joke, meaning all children go to heaven. There is no real clear scripture on this, although one can take a couple of verses to mean this to be true. There's something King David said, okay, but he was grieving for his son, and it was in his song too, so whatever, okay. The fact is, I believe this is more to console the mothers and fathers when there's a miscarriage or a child's death. Only God knows for sure the truth, and only God is the judge. I tell you what I believe, or better, what I wanted to be true about this subject. I think that if the fact that I believe our souls are sent to earth, that there, every soul out there that's lost, that has to come to earth, that's why I think God's waiting so long, because everybody has to have that first chance, or whatever chance from whatever the devil did. Okay, so that's why it's taking so long. Okay, but what keyed me to thinking about this was something, believe it or not, what George Carlin said one time on one of his shows. He was very political, very angry towards the end, hated God for some reason. I don't know why, he never did say. But one day he was talking about souls. He says, there's Adam and Eve, but let's start with Noah. There were only 8 souls. Now we have billions. And that's actually, the Bible says that in Romans, or wherever it does in the New Testament. Paul wrote it down. And then he says, someone's manufacturing souls, man. And then it hit me. Yeah, why would God be making up souls as time passes? The more souls that are born, the more that must be saved or get cast in the lake of fire. Like I said earlier, when does it end? And then in a way, if God is creating souls as he goes, God is creating pain and suffering, unless, again, there's something else going on, and that it is true that we existed before, and that he's still sorting the sheep from the goats. Okay? Seriously, when does this pain and suffering end? It has to be. It just has to be. It makes more sense, because I mean, it just makes more sense to me. I think I got it written in anyway. So now, if you base the when do we get our souls on what I was saying, I believe we get our souls when we take our first breath. Think about it. He breathed into him the breath of life, and he became a living soul. Only God creates life, and only God can take it. Why would God put a soul in an embryo only to have the mother miscarry the baby and give the soul a free pass to heaven? Think about it, people. This defeats the free will clause of all life. If the unborn the unborn and the young child's soul are given a free pass to heaven without choosing this for themselves, what about the rest of the souls in heaven that will stand before the great white judgment throne? They will be right then in saying, hey, you let these souls in, and they didn't ask for forgiveness and recognize that they're sinners and ask and repent from that. Well, why not me? I never even knew I needed to be saved. And a lot of people are going to say that to God. Okay. But God says there should be none shall be without excuse. There shall be none that shall be without excuse in the great light judgment. And they're about to, and they're just about would be right. It would not be fair to all the souls if any soul gets a free pass. When I called in the aforementioned show, I brought up Hitler was a cute little innocent baby too at one time. Then the guest speaker named all the other mass killers, past and present. They were all babies at one time. They was all mother's little favorite baby, little cuddle of joy, bundle of joy. Also, we don't know what goes on in the heads of these young children. How do we know that they're not still in contact with God before they all of a sudden, your first memory of life, you've seen movies even about that, where all of a sudden a child, something clicks and all your memory clicks in, and you remember back to that. Mine's 3, okay? I remember to 3 years old. All of a sudden, boom, I'm aware of my surroundings. I'm 3 years old. Wow. Probably before that, because it was about the same time back to when I was 2 going on 3, but either way, it was there. That's about my time, okay? Where am I at here? Okay, okay, anyway, they're getting back to the babies are in contact with God, and maybe they believe before they can speak about it the way they're supposed to believe, so God takes them home and they're in heaven, okay? Also, the baby soul may turn evil before they can talk, and God stops another Hitler from getting into power. Bottom line, people, God is in control of all of that, not us. God creates life in the mother and not mankind. And only God, not man, has the right to take it for whatever reason. Abortion is murder, period, with or without the soul in it, because soon as the male and female egg and sperm meet together, only one of the thousands and millions or whatever gets into the one egg, and that's what God chooses to get in there for whatever his reasons are. Don't put words in God's mouth. He's got it in control. It is not your soul that you got to, that is not your children's souls you got to worry about. It's your own soul that you got to worry about. You can't save your children. You can't save your brother. You can't save your mother. You can't save your father. You can only save yourself. Speaking of free will again, you may have heard someone said, I never asked to be born. Well, I don't remember asking to be born myself. Like I said, come on, you know. I'd rather not have ever been alive and making all these mistakes. I hate this planet, and I hate having to exist in this very painful body. In my case, I was actually 2 weeks late. I had to come out with a cesarean section operation. My mom said I weighed like about 13 pounds, 7 ounces. Scientific fact, at least I was told, babies grow fast when they're late. I don't even think I wanted to be born. I don't know. But God wanted me here for probably for what I'm doing right now, telling the world the truth. Well, that's you see, if we don't exist, here, let me slow down here. You see, my opinion is this: if we don't exist before our fleshly container is created, and we don't exist before we take our first breath, then where is free will? Okay, this is another good reason for me to believe in pre-existence. The whole argument is about the fall of the devil. Okay, this is the key to the whole thing. When was the war? Before Earth was created or after? Okay, I reached a point finally of talking about my verse. Okay, yeah, looking for my van. That's why I'm looking at my notes now. See. Okay, I only found the verse a couple of months ago. Okay, I got that down. Okay, word vain. All right. Okay. I already said some of this. Okay, but I'm about ready to go to the scriptures and continue with a little bit of breaking down of this stuff, and then I'll show you a picture of something what makes me want to more believe in a gap between 1 and 2. You'll see. Anyway, let me read this part here, and it says, okay, I actually, the part that I'm passing over was actually when I was already talked about the vain thing, and that's actually what I had in my notes. I couldn't remember. It's been a while since I've rehearsed this. And again, my idea is the devil destroyed this part of God's first creation, causing the need to recreate. And if you go by Isaiah 45:18 again, God did not. God made the earth to support a different kind of light than existed before, the war in heaven. I, in fact, think I know the real science by why God didn't make our special sun first. I know I got notes on that later, and I'll mention it here. I don't know what point. I believe God is showing, this is the key for me, what's going on. This is the truth of what I think is going on. Really what I think is going on. I believe God is showing the rest of his creation that his judgment towards the devil and his angels is a righteous judgment. He made man perfect and eternal and gave him one simple rule. He wiped out the memory of any previous anything. And he said, God says, leave that one tree alone. You got the whole earth. And what he do? He blew it because his wife stuck it in his face and said, please, please, please eat it. It's okay. I ate it and I ain't dead yet. Look, you can eat it. And there you go. Okay. Thus, free will is tested and mankind failed. Thus, the sin is passed on to Adam to all mankind, because it was Adam that was disobedient to the word of God, and it was Adam that was responsible to take care of his wife and to make sure that didn't happen, and he blew it. So that's why the seed of man, a seed of Jesus, basically came from a woman. Okay, the virgin. Okay. That was all part of it. I talk about that as far as due prophecies. I think I got that noted in here. Okay. Like it says, I believe all of life's creation has free will. Okay. angels, and all. Free will is the key to God's master plan. When all the energies are sorted out, however long that's going to take, and it's time for judgment, there will be no one allowed in the new heavens and the new earth unless by free will they have denied self and accepted God's free gift of salvation, i.e. accepting Jesus as your Lord and only Savior, who is the foretold Christ, the anointed one. All negative energy like the devil and the angels that followed him, and all the souls from earth that didn't believe, all get cast in the lake of fire, where the smoke of their torment shall rise forever. This is the second death. Everybody, a lot of preachers I hear, oh, hell is the separation from God. No, it's not. It is that too, but my God, hell is being cast in the lake of fire, which I believe is like a black hole. It's a hole in space-time continuum where you be falling forever, and the pressure and the pain because of the tense gravity, and it's going to be pulling at your spirit, which can never die. Once you are created, whether we exist before or not, we are eternal because God makes us eternal. The essence of what we are, our souls, your thought, what you are, you will never lose that thought. If you are an unsaved individual, you would have had a chance, and you would be cast in the lake of fire, and for the rest of your eternity in pain and suffering, you will remember the chance you will have, and the chance I plan on giving you in part of my talk, that you had the chance for salvation, okay, but blew it. Now you know, okay, that the devils and his angels are disembodied spirits, okay. I got this from the conspiracy theory research and from a 5-hour video called The Soul Travelers that popped up on my other YouTube page. I got another YouTube page where I was just listening to music until I found out how satanic some of it was, so I stopped doing that. I still listen to Chinese music. Don't know about that, but I told you I have Oriental in my heart. I play Chinese stuff, whatever. So I like Chinese music. I'm sorry, whatever. Anyway, and Christian music too. Not all of it though. Anyway, that I wasn't looking for that either, and that popped up. But anyway, the devil, I got it from the Soul Traveler guy, like I said, was the cult guy. Anyway, the devil and demons the fallen angels can only come into our existence if they possess something. Okay, they have to be an animal, they have to be mostly in a person, or they have to be in a thing. They can pop in and out of our existence, it is said in the conspiracy theory stuff, and that may account for the so-called UFO. As a matter of fact, I just remembered there was something one thing I learned in the conspiracy theory is this. The Illuminati believe that Satan got a bum deal, and that when Jesus comes to he's going to give the earth back to Satan, okay, and that they are going to be resurrected once they reach the 13th pinnacle and become a 33rd degree Freemason and sell their soul to the devil and all these things. They believe they're going to get resurrected and reign with Satan. That's what the whole freaking New World Order is about, okay? They think Satan's going to reign. They don't know Satan and his angels and them are going to get cast in the lake of fire, where the smoke of their torment and anybody unsaved's torment shall rise forever, which means eternity. Okay, get that in your heads, people. Eternity. Actually, the fact that they could pop in and out for our time continuum at times is because this might account for the so-called UFO sightings. Okay, that's what they say. Okay, now I heard years ago the reason why the Air Force stopped looking for UFO sightings is because there was always a sulfur smell involved. This has been associated with demons coming into our plane of existence. I mean, even the occultists said that. Also, one of the things I heard online is there was no UFO crash at Roswell, but it was a radio station. This guy, all shaky, says the government finally learned how to contact the demon realm and invoke them for information. That's where I believe we get all this fancy electronics from, because it's electronics that's going to bring it that has created the mark of the beast I already showed you, and the whole system, and this electronics that's gotten to people's brain and brainwashed all of you, okay, to where you're in your phones and you're in your games and in your crap and you're not paying attention to what's going on and the world's being taken over around you. It's time to wake up, all the world. Anybody out there, don't care who you are, wants freedom. It's time to stand up and say no. And I know those of us on this earth that wants to be left alone and be free is the majority, not the minority. And the majority must stand up and say no more, especially here in the United States of America. That's what the vote's about. But anyway, I heard the reason why they stopped investigating was because of this smell. So they wrote it off as demon stuff, but then I think that's what made them look for more. Hitler was looking for that. A lot of people look at that. According to the Soul Travelers, you can contact them. The Satanists been doing that. That's the whole mirror on the wall crap. They darken a mirror. You take a piece of glass and you put black paint on it and do something. Then you do this ritual and you invoke these spirits and you communicate them with the mirror. And that's, of course, that's where the crystal ball comes in. You invoke the spirits and you communicate with the ball, the true ones, the ones that are real, for real, not most of the crap you see out there. Okay, but some of them, you know, I mean, if they're really doing some of these things, they got a demon in them. The angels don't do that stuff. Okay. Just like the metaphysical soul, the church, the irony that they're calling themselves church. My God, I mean, as far as Church of God, you know, that they associate themselves to that. They call it the light of Jesus. Wow, give me a break. Okay. Now, see, here's the deal that people probably don't think about. The devil into the garden. The devil in the garden entered the serpent. Okay. It may be a colorful dragon like the creature. I saw the verse in Revelations that talks about the dragon. You go to the Greek, it actually means I forgot exact words, but colorful creature. The curse is a double curse. I remember I talked about double curse earlier. First, God changed the serpent so the devil could not use it anymore. That's where the snake part come in. Read the thing. It talks about he's going to be eating dust. What do snakes do? They go on the ground. The second is God had Moses write a prophecy of the coming of Jesus through the virgin birth, because he said through the woman. Okay, it had to be through the woman, and it had to be a miraculous birth for virgin, because it had to be from God, not man. Otherwise, man's sin would still have been on Jesus. That's the whole difference of God and Jesus. Jesus is half God. But anyway, there are a lot of dual prophecies in the Bible, and I will talk of other places that look like dual prophecies. I'm gonna stand up for a minute, and I'm gonna look. I didn't set my time, and I want to get this done in 2 hours. I don't know how much time I've been talking, so let me see here. I don't know. Well, I really can't tell. Oh yeah, I got it. 58. Okay, here it is. 58 minutes. Okay, I'm still good. I got another hour. All right, I got 2 hours on each DVD. I'll try to get this quick. I don't know. Let me go there. Hang on a minute. Okay, I reached a point. I'm going to talk about my son. Okay, well, let me do this first. Okay, where I'm at here on this. Okay. Now, let's go back to Scripture and talk about this day things, okay? Now, the first day, basically, if you think about it, okay, he just turned the lights on, okay? And, of course, everybody said, you know, I heard a preacher say that God was the light, and rightfully so, okay? Then the second day, he talks about the firmament. That's the firmament is like, you know, I mean, he was creating the different layers of the clouds, concept, and all that, and that heaven. Do you remember I told you where the puffy clouds sit on, looked like a flat spot? He was creating that. Okay, that was this, you know, the second day, and he oh wait a minute, the firmament. Oh, I take it back. Firmament. I'm wrong. First he separated the land from the water. That's the second thing he did. Okay. Then he separated from the waters from under the earth, and he made the ice crystal kind of canopy above the earth that eventually was destroyed during the flood. Okay, and then he's talking about land, and he talks about making the trees and such. He already created the atmosphere. Okay, and he created the trees, and the trees would help bring oxygen. Okay, in. Okay, now here's the fourth day. This is, I think I remember mentioning earlier. I know why God created the sun on the fourth day. I don't know if I talked about that or not. Okay, but anyway, it gives all, okay, the talk about the what the sun and moon does and all that. And then if you notice right here in the end, it says he made the stars also. Okay. The he made is added by the Old English people for easy transition of talk, because he made is actually assumed. But it actually says the stars also. Basically, that's what it says. The stars also, like it was tacked on here on the end of the fourth day. The stars also, right here. Okay. Now, one thing interesting I found about star, one translation of star, it was taken from Job, and it's used for angels. Okay, at that time. Okay, that's just curious. Anyway, I don't know what that means. I really don't. I just want to point it out. Okay, but there again, here you got one day to turn on the lights, and then one day to separate water from land, and another day to and continue to make the atmosphere and such and to create plants. Okay, and you had to use a whole day at least, a big long day at least. Okay, for the sun and the moon to make it right. Everything right, and then pop in the stars. Also, I'm going to show you something that it wasn't commonly known up until just recently, thanks to the Hubble telescope. Would you look at this stuff? Okay, see this here? See all that? Look at that. You know what that is? That's not stars. Okay, people? That's galaxies. The Hubble telescope. That's too funny. I'm sorry. The Hubble probably is going to be scrapped pretty soon, they say. But the Hubble telescope, all right, was said to aim at a particular part through our galaxy out into deep space, and that's what they came up with. That is billions of galaxies containing billions of stars. Okay? Now I want you people to comprehend what I'm saying here. Okay? One day to turn on the lights. One day to separate water from land. Another day to create the atmosphere and plants and such, to create oxygen for the new air-breathing life that he's big fiction to make. Okay? Part of the day for our little bitty sun. In other words, okay, think about all that time on this one insignificant piece of dirt. Okay, I had a problem with the Genesis creation from way back when I first made a poster of our solar system, and when I found out just how insignificant this planet Earth is to just our solar system, let alone our own galaxy. And then I knew about two other galaxies. The Andromeda was one of them. I don't know the other. And then I seen this picture of all these millions of galaxies. And you got to understand this, people. This picture here is one little speck of the entire universe that surrounds us in every possible spherical direction, every direction that you could possibly come out of a globe. Every direction is what this is. This is God's universe. This is why this picture is why I believe in Genesis 1 and Genesis 2 is different. This is why. Don't tell me that God just all of a sudden at the end of the fourth day popped all this into existence? That is not rational. God made everything like this first. Then it became bad. All right? That's what happened. And that right there, this picture here, is what confirmed me. Confirmed, mind you, the fact that there's got to be a gap theory, because otherwise it doesn't make no rational sense. And by God, my God is a rational God. He wouldn't have done it that way. And the Hebrew says it straight in your face. That is not how he did it. This is what the scientists say. No wonder the scientists don't believe in God. No wonder the scientists and the people, they see the same thing. No wonder they don't believe in God if you're teaching that garbage. Where did it come from? Probably the frickin' Catholics. Well, I'm at that subject. You gotta remember, I put that in my notes. Constantine, the person that supposedly was the forefounder of the Catholic Church, the Roman Catholic Church, when I was online doing these searches, and I found stuff that was talking about the development of this church. Constantine, 300 years or so after everybody was gone, after Jesus left, he's over here saying, "Oh, I'm praying to God, for a sign." And all of a sudden, he supposedly sees a cross in the sun. Now, he's a sun god worshiper to begin with, okay? And wait a minute. Jesus says, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father but by me." The scripture of salvation is this: "For by grace are ye saved, through faith. That not of yourself is a gift of God, not of works, lest any man shall boast." You do not become a Christian by seeing an image of a cross in the sun. And how can you even look in the sun? Okay? So sorry, people, and I hated that they did that. The devil created that religion, and I don't know if you poor people that are in that religion know your Pope is, according to my my social media, are all involved in anti First and Second Amendment, anti-garbage and everything. And I found out that the Pope is selling out the Catholic Church to Islam. All right? So your people are being sold out. If you want anything done with your religion, you better stand up against this dude. Just because bunch of people calling the next person to God doesn't make him nothing. He's nothing. And right now I think he's the devil himself. I'm sorry. Actions speak louder than words, people. Okay? So, whatever. Now, where am I at here? All right. All right. Okay, that's about Stargazers. Let me see where I'm at here. Okay, now. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay, let me think. Yeah, okay, I'm at a point. Now I can talk about the sun. There's something that, the question is, why did God wait until the fourth day to make the sun? I believe I know the answer. If he made the sun first before creating a shield, an atmosphere, an ozone layer, a magnetic field to block out the deadly rays coming from the sun before he made life, life would die right away. He made plants for animals to create oxygen for his new life to exist. He made fish first because the oxygen was in the water. He gave a little more time for the plants to produce oxygen and for the rest of his creation. Now, how's that for a new revelation, huh? Baloney. Anyway, while I'm on the fourth day of creation, let me show you. Oh, I already showed you. That's right. I already showed you that a picture of the universe. All right, you see. First off, before I do that, let's get things in perspective. Okay, let's see. That's okay. One thing I think about too now about this. Okay, only God knows for sure how much time went by before Satan rebelled. I believe this happened before Earth. There again, part of the problem is when did this war happen? It had to happen for Satan to come. Possessed. He was disembodied. He possessed the creature called the serpent. Okay, and to lie and deceive Eve. He had to be fallen in that before that point to do that. Okay, like I said, when I got you can watch the creation shows on Christian Television Network. The one I watch is called Lifestyle. It has more. Well, yeah, I'll tell you about that later. Okay, the Earth is only about 6 to 12,000 years old. Yeah, and the main question is also arises: why did the Earth, the eternal Creator being, need 24-hour Earth days to do anything? The 24-hour day is for us. Okay, why did God have Moses write down this creation this way? The evening, morning, 6 days. Evening and morning thing, 6-day work, 1-day rest. This was for mankind and mankind only. This was to establish the work week, and give man a way to keep track of time. That's the only thing for. This time period exists only here on earth and not anywhere else on the universe. Man was not made for the Sabbath, but the Sabbath was made for man. Now this verse right here, that was the second verse I was talking about earlier, either in the testimony or whatever. Okay. The verse that I thought was in there about the Sabbath, but I looked it up wrong and it wasn't, but then I found it again and Jesus did say it. I didn't write I didn't put the verse down in here, but it is in the Gospels, in the second verse of one. I don't remember which Gospel, but read the Gospels and you'll find it. As a matter of fact, that'd be a good thing for anybody to do. You'll find it. Jesus says man was not made for the Sabbath was made for man, and that the Son of Man is both Lord, and the Son of Man is Lord also of the Sabbath. Something to that effect. It's in the second chapter, so I can't remember, and I'm not going to, but I just do know that was a very key to me to show that the 7-day thing was not how God created the universe. The 7-day thing is what God did to set up the work week for mankind, okay, and set up our time schedule for our months and our years and everything, okay. That was the point of it. That's the only point of it. And Jesus himself says in that verse that man was made for the Sabbath, okay. And God showed me just that just a few days ago, maybe a week ago. I found that accidentally because I was looking in another part of my Rari Study Bible, and because there's two places where you could look phrases and words up. Well, I found it, and it's in there. You people find it yourself. I got time for this because I'll try to get this done here. I still got the rapture theory to do. Okay, but also Sabbath, here it is, right? The Sabbath here, it really means 47, to cease. Okay, basically to work. Yes, rest, but it's also to cease. See, another thing, God is eternal and all powerful. God does not need to rest. Okay, if he had to rest, that makes him not all powerful. He did cease. It's translated the same way: cease, rest, stop, all that. Okay, but again, for mankind, not for him. There is no daylight. There is no day and night in space. There's just simply sun and shadow. That's it. Our day and night is the rotation of the earth that God set up. Our years are the rotation of how many rotations versus the moon that gives us our months. Okay, the one rotation of the moon around the earth is a month per se. Okay, and then one rotation around the sun is a year. That's the purpose of it. Period. Okay. Now, actually, I've already gone through all the rest of this part here. Let's see. Look at this. Okay, I went down to I got with the galaxies already. I've had some of this already. I already got it written down, though, by passing by. Anyway, I don't know about anybody else, but there's not much faith for me and the whole universe that will make me believe that the 6-day thing is how God created everything. It is because of that picture of the universe that causes me, for sure, like I said earlier, to believe in the gap theory. No way did God pop the whole entire universe in at the tail end of the 4th day. Nobody can tell me that. Sorry. It can't be done. Sorry. My eyes do not deceive me. Okay? More importantly, it shows that scientists are full of it. when they say all the universe when they say all the universe mass was condensed down even as small as a pencil point. I've heard them say. The song that starts in the Big Bang Theory says the whole universe was in a dark, dense state. Well, hey, here's another question for all scientists: where did that dark, dense state come from? Tell me that. Okay? Ha! You can't, can you? People take the country back. People take the world back. People kick the scientists off. Let them go on their unemployment line. Let them work serving you hamburgers at McDonald's, because that's all most of them are worth. More importantly, it shows, like I said, the science. Okay, this is their part of the Big Bang Theory of the people of the world. That's hard to believe than God popping the universe into existence at the end of day 4. I mean, their Big Bang Theory and popping the whole universe in, to me, is the same nonsense. Okay? God was the Big Bang. Now, with this, all this information I just gave you, I hope this will clear up some of the same questions you've had in your minds, like I've had. Like, what I just told you are the answers I found for myself. I showed you also the Hebrew and the Greek. And not Greek, I'm sorry, but the Hebrew to the English and the definitions and everything. Okay? I mean, it's, you know, you have to be rational and open-minded. Okay? These reasons make more rational sense to me than what I have been hearing from anyone else on earth. If you're an unbeliever that is watching this, I hope this kind of helps. You know, but stick around and I'll tell you how to get on God's plan of eternal life. I already said a few things, but I think in my further talks I might get a little, when I'm talking about Revelations, I might get a little further. I don't remember. Yeah, so I'm right here at the end of my video now. Okay? So please stick around. Okay, there's another one coming up after this. One more video on Revelations. I don't know if I'm going to get it done today because my flea market was trashed yesterday. Today, I should say. Let me get straight. Seeing how my flea market thing got trashed today, tomorrow I'm not going out because there's also more heavy rain prediction, 70%, and it's not a time to go out. So I'm going to try to, after church, I'm going to a new church tomorrow, check something out. Maybe I can talk them into letting me perform in front of them and re-record my music. Then that'd be nice. I'll tell them I don't want no donation, and I just do it for free. Just let me record, and then maybe see, because I have trouble getting my words out. I don't know if people can hear them. I can understand myself, but I don't know if anybody else can. It's important to me in the words. So I am going to still, already got the first video loaded at YouTube. I haven't published it yet. I'm going to try to get in there and edit it. You know, put words in. I've seen people do that. You know, that actually that 5-hour Soul Traveler video used words extensively in his videos. So there's ways to do it. So you know, I'm going to try to figure that out. If not, see, it's important to be. But I do want to re-record just the music and music alone, having somebody work the sound so that my voice comes out over my music, so that the words can be heard. The voices, you know, I'm a deep bass. I'm not you know, I'm not God's gift to creation when it comes to singing. Okay, so that's not what I'm looking for. Is the words that I want to be known. Okay. Oh, I mentioned I was going to give you the real name of Lucifer. Let me kind of look through here too. Okay, real name is this. This is coming from, where was it at? Isaiah 14:12 through 19. I don't know. Oh, I wrote down the whole his whole fall. But anyway, right here, old Lucifer. Okay, right, that word right there. Hebrew 1966. Let me see the fall. Where's it at here? Here it is, right here. It is Hayal, root from H1984 in the sense of brightness. Hayal in the sense of brightness. Now, this part confuses me because the morning star, because Jesus was called morning star too. However, Lucifer's fallen, so I believe this morning star here might be meaning angels, going back to that other meaning that for star, I honestly believe that all angels are stars in essence. That's what I'm believing. Don't know. But all I do know that Jesus says, marvel not that the devil portrays himself like an angel of light, but when reality he's an angel of darkness. But the devil, see, Lucifer was, where was that here? Lucifer here was, came from apparently some evil demon god, and it was used in King James. I think it's used that in the, possibly, I don't think I ever looked it up. I don't know if it's used that if they used that in the 1599 or not. But anyway, I actually have to look that up. Interesting. They might be the one that threw it in. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. And of course, all these words are cursed against him. Okay, fallen. Now, some things, of course, they're talking about as far as fallen angels. Everybody believes. This is a pet peeve of mine. Okay, everybody believes that in Genesis 6, that when and I don't know if I actually don't know that. Hang on. In Genesis 6, I don't know what that is. Oh yeah, and this is also some of the root, as far as coming from Hayal. It's also he wanted to be more or less shine and color and to boast. It says he got show to boast. That's part of his root for that. Okay, Rapture theory right here. Anyway, what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. Let me see. Oh, follow that. I forgot what I was going to say now. I hate that when I do that. That's why I wrote things down, but I'm ad-libbing a little bit here. Maybe I'll go back and pick up what I'm saying here. Oh, what am I trying to say? Oh, it's just talking about the different curses he had and stuff. Let's see. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, I was talking about Job. Job. Okay, I got it. Anyway, fallen angels. That's right. That's the fall right here. But the fall, fall right here. Fallen angels. Okay. Well, anyway, it's not straight out clear, but in Job, okay, the word sons of God are really in there are referred to. They're pretty well accepted by the theologians because of what is being said, that those are God's talking about angels, and that's when it says Lucifer popped up there and whatever, and then the whole Job thing started. One thing everybody's got to consider about Job now, I consider it. Now the Jews accepted Job, the fine and dandy. Okay, that's where we got that's where we got the knowledge of Jesus from, is from the Jews and the prophets. Okay, so I mean, and that's how we confirmed. Also, because it was written so long and then it's fulfilled. So that's how we confirm Jesus Christ as the Son of God. The fact, okay, so anyway, so in Genesis 6, it talks about, it says the same thing, it uses, and the sons of God looked upon the daughters of men and they took all, well anyway, everybody thinks this is angels mating with human beings. Okay, now number one, first and foremost, I don't care if they're fallen or not. Don't forget, I said, and I get this from the Satanist himself, the occultist told me this, the demons are disembodied spirits to begin with. They can possess a human being, but they cannot come and appear in a fleshly form like a human being. They do not have sperm. They cannot produce sperm. God did not make them that way. They cannot mate with women. They cannot mate with human beings. They're angels, and they're disembodied angels, and they're being locked in darkness. They didn't fall to the earth. They fell and they were locked in darkness. And they're locked in darkness now. Like I said, they got to be invoked to get out of that realm to come into ours, and that's what the devils are doing. I seen this guy, a friend of mine showed me a magic shows things, video about all these crazy new musicians. Every one of them is linked with the devil, and they're using the spirit of the devil to do all these things. I mean, I saw this one guy, he's flying and everything, man, my God. Oh, wow, And of course, the devil is very powerful, and is being played off in magic. And people think they're tricks. No, they're demons doing all this stuff, man. They can do this, but see, they cannot mate with human beings. Okay, they can only possess. They can only use their energy, and they can only be channeled through human beings and for objects and all these different things. Okay. And then it's, because if you go to the Hebrew, the word that sons of God is basically a general term of children. Okay, it doesn't really mean angel. And then it said, then Moses simply stated, there are giants in the earth in them days. So if you go, and I might have had this, I can look through it. I may have not taped, copied and pasted the definitions of all that, but believe me, when I found them, it made a difference. And I'm ad-libbing, I'm hot and I'm trying to figure this out. But anyway, the giants that's translated more strong warriors and men of, it says men of old, because people lived long back, they lived hundreds of years. But these were, I think, were the ones that would see that genes are genes, and all sizes of mankind are all out there. That's why you got big people and small people. The giants did not exactly mean, and that's what the definitions, you go to my programs, the giant, that's what they say, the giants didn't exactly mean grotesque tall people. It meant warriors, strong people, okay? Bullies, basically, all right? That's what giants meant, that word. And yeah, there's some falling there, because man, don't forget, at that same time, that the word fall comes because mankind was fallen bad. There was only 8 souls saved out of that bunch at this time. That's what, because right after that, they're talking about, Moses talking about how the earth corrupted itself and stuff. That's what that means. And as far as the sons of God going after the daughters of men, from Genesis on, from creation of Adam and Eve, what does he say? Man and woman, the man will leave his mother and cleave unto his wife, and they two shall become one flesh. Up to a point of when mankind started falling, okay, and sinning and hurting, and these bullies, these giants, these bullies started killing people and taking over and using their size and their experience and all this other to control people and cause. Instead of having just one wife, one husband, that's when they started grabbing whatever woman they wanted. That's what that means. They started having sex without marriage. That's what that means. Think about it. Come on. Angels cannot procreate. They're disembodied spirits. They have no ability to that. And what really jerks my jaws is where it came from, because in the same context of all this junk that found me on the internet, a book that I didn't know existed called the Book of Enoch found me. Okay? The Book of Enoch. As a matter of fact, seeing how I'm at this point, I think I'm going to put the camera right back on me again. The Book of Enoch. Okay? Now, I don't know how much people know about who Enoch is, but Enoch is the 7th of Adam. Okay? Now, I found it online. All right, how much time I got left? I'm getting closer. I got half hour. Okay, I'll be brief after this. I found the Book of Enoch online, so I said, what is this? So I read about it. It was supposedly written by Enoch, 7th of Adam. Let me get to that. Okay, and then it was apparently being used. It was around Jesus' time. Okay, because Jude, who was supposed to be this Jude, wrote one little page. Okay, and it's just before Revelations, and according to my Rari Study Bible, the two things he quotes in there, one comes from the Book of Enoch that was being circulated at the time, and one comes from the Book of Moses, which, by the way, possible, not accepted by the Jews, nor was this Book of Enoch ever accepted by the Jews. Now you got what they call the Apocrypha. I ran across that. I don't remember if it popped up on mine, or I don't remember if it, I looked for it, whatever. I think I might have looked for Apocrypha. I was curious. Well, anyway, all the Apocrypha is old Jewish records by other Jewish people in Israel, different parts of Israel, doing other things and recording other men of God too, by the way, okay? But not no prophet or nothing to do with prophecy bringing in, because every prophet has more to do with his explicit purpose was to predict Jesus and to try to keep the people of Israel in line the best they could, so that there would be a people left for Jesus to come, to come into the world. Okay, but so the Apocrypha is no spiritual to it. It's good information. One of these days, when I get around to it, I'll probably read it all, because it's just simply a different account of other things that happened. But there's no spiritual nothing with it. There's no nothing. Just another account. Okay, so. But at that, okay, now let's examine the concept then the Book of Enoch supposedly disappeared, okay, and then reappeared somewhere in Africa in the 1830s, okay. Well, a lot of this stuff had happened around the 1830s. I'll get to that when I get into the Revelations one, okay. A lot of stuff happens in although, anyway. So, now, when the book was being read, okay, he dictated it Old English. That was the first alarm, okay, especially 18-somethings Old English. That Old English started getting old, okay, as far as using it as translated, because we were developing English more here, and we, by that time, started getting away with the heavy English accent and stuff, so, and that type of talk, okay, by 1800s, it would start to change over. So dictating in Old English was first, but of course that's where all the whole giants, angels, and giants going around and eating people and all this. You had to hear this thing. It was just awestruck, and it was funny actually, some of it. Okay, now Enoch, seventh of Adam. In case you don't know, he walked with God, and he was so good, he only lived 300 some years, and God transliterated him. He didn't have to die. He went. Now, they're trying to say this Book of Enoch was written by this individual prior to him being taken away. Now, if Enoch indeed wrote that book, it would be in the language of Adam, a language spoken, by the way, until Babylon. Okay? Now, was there even a written language before the flood? Okay? What was it written on? Okay? If it was written on stone, it'd be immense. I heard it took 3 hours for this guy to dictate that. If it was written on papyrus or any other animal skin, it would have to be rewritten and rewritten and rewritten and rewritten and rewritten and rewritten, for 4,000 or more freaking years, 5,000 years. It had to be rewritten from however many years from Enoch on. Okay, so now it's possible that there was some kind of right. It could be passed on from one righteous person to the other. I believe this whole begotten thing that's going on in the Bible is, like I said, is not as much of a time element. It is the people that they name were the people that stuck with God. Until finally, start reading, only ones left is Noah's family. Everybody else dies. All his grandfathers, his great-great-grandfather, they're all dead. All of a sudden is Noah. That's coming in chapter 6. There was only 8 righteous souls left by this time. Okay. Now it's possible that he would have it. It could have survived. Possible that it would have survived the hundreds of years before Noah came into existence, because there was several hundred years before. Okay, and then it could have survived the flood possibly. Okay, but then after the flood, you had Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and Noah. Okay, and all of a sudden, who took the book? Shem, Ham, Japheth. Probably not Ham, because he was cursed. I think Ham was a Ham cursed. Okay, after seeing his dad naked and telling his brothers whatever and all that. Okay, and Ham, through Ham came the Canaanites and all those evil people that God eventually had to clean out of there, because they were sacrificing their babies, and their little girls were out there in the fields having sex for money to put money into the temples and stuff. And oh man, it was a mess. The disease was probably running rampant. Who knows what kind of STDs or whatever they had? Go, oh my God, they had to be. That's why they had to be destroyed. And then they didn't destroy them all, so it was there. You go, and then wow, this still some of these evil people kept having offspring, and it's probably still around today. That's why some of this evilness is still out there, because of their way back forefathers were devil worshippers to begin with. Okay, all right, so now we're reaching the point where everybody's in one spot. Okay, now gene thing's been going on here. People never paid attention to it at that particular point, but I believe that all the races were already getting around, and people started lingering around their own families, and they had so come to Babylon. When it came time to confound the language, I believe how God, already working the gene pool thing, this race here, I mean I don't want to use the word race, but this color here, this shade here, this actually shade, we're all color, this shade here, this go there, this go here, because you had Shem, Ham, Japheth, and Noah, and that was from there came, because Noah, I think, had, I don't know, Noah had him or something. Anyway, either way, from at least Shem, Ham, and Japheth did all the other, everything, through the gene pool pop up to what we got today. Okay. All kinds of things that get involved in that, even elements. I think even what you eat has a lot to do with some of these things, But anyway, so now at the Babylon, where all these languages that we got today, and then probably who knows what's been created since then in dialects of these languages since then, who took the book? Did God even keep Adam's language alive? And if he did, which language is it today? English? German? Russian? What? Okay. And if it was written in Adam's original language, even if they didn't even have a written language yet, which I don't believe, of course they say the Sumerians, they found the written language, that they're the first. Well, no, the Sumerians were the first ones that are smart enough to do it in brick and rock prior to God doing the finger thing in the stone for the Ten Commandments. By the way, the Ten Commandments are for the world. The other laws are for the Jews. You got to know that. Okay. For the Jews only. They're good practices, but they're for the Jews only. For that time. It's changed after Jesus, it changed, but they didn't accept it. Oh well. Lot did, though. There were thousands and thousands of people were Jews, and then a whole bunch of Gentiles. But while we're at that subject, who do you think all these Muslims killed once Muhammad, who the Catholic Church created 600 years after Jesus left? Catholic Church created him so they could take back Jerusalem. This is what I'm getting online, mind you. You can look this up yourself. And it backfired, and next thing you know, the devil gets in him, and just like the devil possesses other people, they can be dynamic, and he was able to convince another bunch of other devil worshippers. And next thing you know, you got what they call a religion, but it's more of a world domination, kill everybody that don't get along with you, that don't agree with you, ideology. Okay, it's not a religion. I studied world religion twice in my life. I don't have that book. It got wet. It's drying out. The real religion book I can show you. But I took college world religion. And of all the religions in the world in history, both ones that are gone and ones that exist today, only in Islam do they have a law where you can kill even an infant if it advances the cause of Allah. No, sorry. People, that's another thing that you and the earth needs to stop. Now, I got an idea. The best way to stop jihadists? I'm going to tell you straight out, okay? Apparently, because they did, seeing how Muhammad was taught by the Catholic Church, he borrowed a lot from them to make his so-called religion, okay? And he also took the pig thing seriously, okay? So apparently, if somebody's committing jihad and somebody has pig blood on their knife and they stab them with the pig blood, that the jihadist goes to hell. People of the world, here's one way to stop them. If everybody covers all their weapons of protection, I say that because I'm a defender, not a offender, and those of us who can vote should do that first. Okay, if everybody coats their bullets, their bombs and their knives and their swords and whatever defensive weapons with pig's blood. I'm talking about cops, military, civilians who all over the world that can have you. I mean, even your kitchen knives, whatever you have to use to protect yourself against the onslaught, especially there you people in Europe. All these people are getting killed. When are you guys going to learn over there? Okay, I got pictures that they got wet. I mean, I still got it in my chips and stuff, so I can print some more of those. But I got pictures from 2009, right after, or late 2008, early 2009, right by the same time everybody was stupid enough to elect a Muslim as a president of the United States. I seen the demonstration in England, saying freedom, go to hell, behead those that insult Islam, and all these other different things like that, and behead those who insult Muhammad, and all these other things. Hey, forget that, okay? People have been insulting Jesus Christ, and they've been killing the Christians more, and more Christians have died throughout history than anybody for just being a Christian. Just like the picture of those kids I showed you. Okay, they're not. A couple of them even need old enough to talk. You're talking about, soul going to heaven or hell. I mean, come on. These kids weren't even able to talk yet. How did they know they're Christians? They don't know that. But Islam, to advance the cause of Allah, shot them and hung one and embarrassed them by pulling the pants down. Sorry, man. Okay, this is one reason why God taught me all these things and made me hardcore and allowed me to screw up and allowed me to get this way. I am a warrior. Okay, a spiritual warrior to begin with, and if I have to be, I will defend innocent citizens as much as I can once all this crap starts hitting the fan. This is the last thing I got to say to the Christian, because this is the most important and the biggest lie that you've been ever given, ever. The rapture theory. That's next.